So, good evening and welcome to another episode of us pretending we have brains today and reading the Havamal. Today we'll be going over verse 13 or stanza 13.
Right.
We'll be using the Study Havamal by Hunin and Moonin Publishing Company. We will be using the
it's the James Chisholm translation from 2009. It's a little more recent.
And I will be using, like I did last week, the Poetic Edda new translations from Carolyn Larrington. There we go.
Once again, welcome to the Havamal Study. I'm Larry Threadgill. This is Ríðar of Wyrd. And go ahead.
I am Beatrice Holmes. I am the Skald for Ríðar of Wyrd.
Nelson Young, the elder or vice president of the kindred.
And I'm Hank Stratton, and I'm the Master of Coin, otherwise known as a treasurer.
So we'll start it off.
Sure.
I'll start it off with Bray. Translated by Bray, a bird of unmindfulness flutters ere feasts, willing away men's wits. With the feathers of the fowl I was fretted once in the girth of Gonluds below.
Alrithrope, Oblivion's heron, 'tis called that over potations hovers. Oh my gosh. He steals the minds of men with the bird's pinions.
Mm-hmm.
I was fretted in Gunlad's dwelling.
The heron is called mindlessness, who hovers over men, stealing their minds. I was bound by that fowl's feathers when I was in Gunloth's garth.
Wow. And we still have another different translation.
Mm-hmm.
The heron of forgetfulness hovers over the ale drinking. He steals men's wits. With feathers of this bird I was fettered in the court of Gunlod.
And Bellows is over beer the bird of forgetfulness broods, and steals the minds of men. With the heron's feathers fretted I lay, and in Gunloth's house was held.
Okay, so what does this mean?
Don't drink to excess, I don't know.
What?
What gets me is the symbolism of the heron.
The heron, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are we talking? When you look at a heron, they are high-flying birds.
Mm-hmm.
They have stilts for legs, which they tuck under them when they fly, and long necks. What does that got to do with ale drinking?
Well, a heron is a seagoing bird, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
They really
They're
are.
more of a
They're
water. Yeah, they're more of a water.
like lakes
inland
and
water.
ponds. Yeah.
Lake,
Okay.
pond, swamp.
Okay, and I'm thinking of a different bird. I thought they were the one with the... No, that's a
You're thinking of a
pelican.
pelican.
Yes, okay.
Well,
These things.
the reference to Gunlod. Gunlod is the goddess who provides the meat.
The meat.
Yes. Ooh, okay.
Right. So therefore, because in her lair, in her below, in her garth, in her dwelling, that's stating the fact that you've lost your wits. You were dipped too deep into the horn
Yeah.
and lost.
Oh,
your
too far
wits.
into your cups.
Right. You're too
Right.
far in your cups.
Oh,
so that's
okay,
why-
okay. Don't drink to excess to the point that you forget yourself.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
That's cool. That part
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
But
the heron.
the heron.
I know.
I don't know.
the heron, and I've read
Well, it
this,
might be a red herring.
but it would have said red.
But in other translations, it didn't say heron, right? In the
No,
other translations,
It said bird.
Yeah, in other, well,
like a
now,
bird.
my Elder Edda, the one that we don't read because it's so right, basically the same idea. Now, someone's translation, I can't remember if it was Chisholm's or if it was
the hero.
yeah.
13.
Okay, that was
Thorpe.
Thorpe. Yeah.
Right. You're looking up the translations, aren't you?
Yes, I have to.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a good idea.
Question from the audience.
The heron was considered a sacred animal, said to be one of the many animals that brought messages from the gods and goddesses.
It was important to Toth. That's what his head is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
And it has
yeah.
something to do with him standing in the, I'm not quite sure what, something standing in the water.
Right.
So still waiting to,
In both realms.
yeah.
Oh.
Right. Yes.
So-
That all makes sense because water is yet again another mirror, and
Yeah.
therefore also the fluidity.
So the heron of forgetfulness
Right.
is the reflection of the heron of wisdom, knowledge.
Right.
A messenger is what you're saying
Yeah.
to the audience. You know.
Makes
Okay.
perfect sense now.
That's
Now
Well-
it fits. Now it fits.
In
Yes.
all honesty, it just sounds like,
Yeah.
because this book, right? It's just like advice from Odin, right?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
So it just sounds like basically because the stanzas before were talking about don't drink to excess, don't
Right.
don't forget who you are, especially when people could use it against you or
Right.
use it to control you or whatnot. So it just sounds like basically what he's saying here is I know, and the reason I'm telling you not to do these things is because I've been there.
Right.
It happened. Right.
Whoopsie.
That's basically what the whole
Yeah.
the whole book is about
Yeah.
in a way.
Well, yeah.
I mean, basically what soldier hasn't.
Yeah.
We won't go
I
down that
learned the
road.
lesson so that I could tell you.
Yeah.
Don't forget who
This
you
is what
are
I'm
and
telling
what
you.
you're doing, because if you drink too much, it might float away in wind.
Right. Hence the feathers drifting from the fowl.
Or with like with the heron, or it could be lost to sea.
Right.
Or the marsh.
Yeah.
Marsh
Well, and
Warren.
another
Yeah.
thing, like Mom was saying, it's
Another
like a
foul place,
reflection
yeah.
of physical as well as. Well, I don't know if that's like the Christian.
Spiritual.
version.
No, you're
Yeah.
right.
So like
So
physical
just
as well as
drag her onto the
spiritual. So
camera.
it's like
Your city. Yeah.
the drinking to excess cannot just make you forget who you are in the physical world, but who you're supposed to be spiritually.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. And
It
Brilliant.
you'll people say that it doesn't change who you are, it just lowers your inhibitions, and some people might think that lowering your inhibitions means that you're more or less showing who you really are on like an animalistic level.
like who
Well,
you
that's a good point, and especially with Odin being the god of wisdom, of
Mhm.
thought, of
Yeah.
of communication,
Higher mind.
of higher mind. This would be something that he goes, okay, you know what? I did this once, and I forgot what I was doing. I forgot who I was. Everything
Well-
that I strive for.
To be.
or
Yeah.
if there's spiritual obligations.
Let's
I don't know.
not also forget that the Berserker cult was known to drink to excess to rival
Yes.
into a fury.
Yeah.
Losing themselves in the
In the drink.
drink.
Yeah.
So that's also something to remember too. Is that he's telling you, look, you're traveling. You've asking for food and water. You've asked for warmth. You've asked for shelter. You're coming in from the cold. Don't drink to excess and lead into the drink, because if you have that berserker mindset,
Yeah.
it may also lead to bloodlust.
Don't go to
Right.
berserk. Yeah.
Well, there's the other thing of this too,
Mhm.
as I have been studying various esoteric disciplines. You drink too much, you end up blathering to those who literally are unworthy of the wisdom, of the knowledge,
Yeah.
who would misplace it. Like when you asked me how to do, it's like I will help you learn,
But not give.
but I won't teach you specifically.
Right.
Because if I know something and I don't teach you right, or you don't take it right, I'm responsible
It's
for
on you.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
As well as you and anybody else you teach along the way.
Who goes? Yeah.
Sound mind, sound heart. You don't run that risk.
Yeah.
When you're in your cat. You run
Sure.
that risk of just and it goes back to where we were before on the 6th
Mm-hmm.
Havamal
Mm-hmm.
of
Sure.
Of being mindful of your own words when in company of others, because you don't know who friend or foe is also.
Right. And careful not to blather too much.
now
and
you
be
know
too
what's really
boastful.
weird? I have that in other uses. Oh, of his own knowledge.
Mhm.
Let no man let him be silent.
Right.
You know, I know what I use that for, and it's, but anyway. But yeah, it goes into that same idea.
Sure.
Of his own wisdom, be not boastful.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we
I know
go.
what you're talking about.
I knew I'd
That's
get
one
it.
of the
You
other
were-
stanzas.
yeah.
That we've just
Yes.
But
done.
it could also
The sixth
because
Havamal.
weren't they
Well,
saying that
depending on whose translation you read,
what's her
you know.
name?
Right.
The goddess of need.
Oh yeah. Man not shall boast of his keenness of mind, but
It
keep it
says
close
he
to his
was
breath,
tricked
the
or
silence.
something
Yes.
when he was in her
Right.
court
Yep.
because
So unless you
Wise-
actually know what you're talking about and you can actually do the
that's
thing,
also
then
why
don't
we shouldn't
Right.
take it.
speak too much about it.
Absolutely.
Which would go into the same thing. If you lose your train of thought, if what you're doing flies out of your mind because you're not yourself, because
There's
you're
that
too
herring
drunk,
again.
Oh,
and then you got the
yeah.
herring,
Yeah.
then yeah, you're going to speak whatever you wish, whenever you wish, or say things that you don't know.
You're gonna get in a bar fight.
Yeah, perfect
Yeah.
example. Okay.
Absolutely.
Any comments, questions from the audience?
Spiritually, I would say that it is much like soul shards, which is essentially you're giving your power
Mm.
to someone else to use as they see fit.
Yeah.
Right.
For their benefit.
Okay.
And that will come back to bite you.
So it is a very,
In spades.
Yeah.
very, I won't say hard, but a intense process to retrieve those.
Sure. But it's also it also goes back to the belief that you never say anything that you do not know that is absolutely true, and you never leave too much of yourself out there for another person to grab onto. And that was very big in Norse culture as well.
Right.
You know.
I would have been.
So yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Makes perfect sense.
So
Can I rebreak on the next one?
okay. Well,
Gotta
I
end
guess
the
we
first
can
one.
wrap this one up then.
Yeah.
So as usual, we'll post this with minor editing, maybe if we're lucky. We tend not
But
to do
still
that
the
very often.
wildebeest, right?
Yes. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the little bell thingy so that you can get updates for when we post our next videos. So from us to you, good night.
Please comment.
Oh.